Hey guys, welcome back to Black, White, and the Grays. It's been a minute. Whew. I am walking to the small garden to turn on the lights and I'm soaking wet. Well, just my hair is now. It poured just a little bit ago. We don't get rains like that hardly ever. And it was for a good couple hour, like a good, well, not a couple hours, good hour. And it was just, the pastures are flooded. The driveway's flooded. We got puddles. It's just a real treat. So the boys and I went out and played in it. Oh my, it is gorgeous evening. And since I haven't talked to you guys in a while, I thought it'd be fun for an update. It's on. I thought it would be time for a garden update in all its wildness, in all its definitely imperfection. And of course, this is the year of replanting. Hose. So, oh my, I didn't think this through. I did not think this through. It is soggy, my rocking chair. I got this little metal chair. No, 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 Olaf. No. No, no. The cap. Whoa! Don't die on the camera. I'll save you. Okay, so it's been a few weeks since I filmed. I've just been exhausted. We had a lot going on and it all came to an end and I just rested. So, stop it! My calf is behind the camera and he's messing with the tripod on the other side of the fence. So, let me give you a quick update on what's going on the farm. One, the goose and the hen are still raising their 7 chicks. And the other goose is now broody as well, so definitely 2 girls. Definitely. And then we have a few other broody hens too, who we'll just let them hatch out whatever they hatch out, if they hatch out anything. We also got some new chicks. They're at my cousin's house and our little babies are being raised with their little babies. So we got chicks, we got all sorts of chicks. We got the chicks in the coop, we got the new chicks at my cousin's that will eventually come here when they're ready to be put in within the big coop. The gardens. I'm going to do a separate video with the market garden just because there's a lot going on over there with the greenhouses and everything. But this little garden is like obviously it's one of my favorite places to be, but it's been a bit of a struggle this year. It hasn't been easy, and the last few years of gardening have been very easy, and this year hasn't been that way. With the weather's been weird and we're in a big drought, and so that's been weird, and we are having like super cold weather, and then it goes from cold weather up to like today was 96 degrees, and then it'll drop again tomorrow, but it's not too cold. We're like, it drops down to 88, so it's cool front tomorrow, and then by the weekend we pop up and we get up to 99, 100 degrees between now and a week from now. So a week ago it was in the 50s. We have gotten our most rain that we've gotten all spring in June, which has been good. So the last few weeks last week was pretty hot, but the 2 weeks prior was rain for 2 weeks, which is unusual. And it's never just cloudy. We never have, it's very rare when we have a completely cloudy day all day. Normally the sun peeks out. But with that being said, the garden is a little, I don't know what's going on. I thought poppies were growing over here, and once they got bigger, they were not poppies, they were chamomile. It was my mistake. The poppies are growing in the beds, not as many as what we planted, and that's okay. We are completely shifting directions. This flower garden is going to be what it always is, and it's not going to be a complete just flower garden. I'm going to be planting vegetables, and I have to replant sunflowers and calendula because the chickens once again got in, and I think we got all of them. We clipped their wings, so that shouldn't be an issue. So I just feel like everything's a bit behind. We have a garden tour at the end of July and it's really early this year. I prefer to have our garden tours at the end of June because that's when we have our most some well issues. It's par for the course. It's like market gardening. There's always something. There is always something. And it seems like everything I'm growing for myself and for my family is doing very well. Potatoes they're just beautiful. The storage carrots are doing great. Anything I'm growing for our family is doing awesome. Everything I'm growing, as far as food goes, everything I'm growing for the market is really suffering, except for the sunflowers. The pro cuts, they're doing really good. Raspberries in here are doing really good. We have the weeds are doing really good. The lamb's quarter in here is doing amazing. Everything else is just crazy. So I'm here to replant some sunflowers. Hey, I only have apparently one bag. I thought I grabbed more, but I grabbed calendula, which is still good. I want to replant while it's raining and get them in because our well is acting up and it's not dialed in completely. But we had our well running on normal, like a 220 going to our house. At the beginning, or at the end of it's been stressful, and I filmed a bit. Maybe I'll insert it here. Right now is a time where I just really just don't want to film, but I thought it would be good, one, for myself so I can remember this, and two, for you guys to see this. So we are on year 2 market gardening, and with that has some obvious challenges, and one was the same thing we had last year was our well. It's kind of like a Jimmy rig system anyway, where it doesn't work precisely. We have like a weird pressure tank underground, and our second well has like not a normal pump that our house well runs on. It's completely different. And now today I'm not being able to get a ton of water out of it. So, and we're also in a drought. So everything's going through my brain, but there's not enough water to come out. So I'm wondering if it just needs like 24 hours to set and refill. But I'm starting to get really nervous and stressing out about it and freaking out because it's also blazing. It's so hot. Today isn't crazy hot. It's still hot. It's 85, 86. Tomorrow's 86, 87, 89. Then next week we go up into the 90s and almost hit 100, and that's unusual for us to hit and be in the hundreds, especially in June. So it's a horrible time for this to go awry. So we do have our main well, which we have our grass hooked up to this year, and it obviously the house, like for normal household well stuff. So, and our grass isn't huge, so it's not too much. And I didn't want to put the pressure of the market garden on the house well. When we had just our small garden, that was completely fine. But a 14,000 square foot garden plus a 300 square foot greenhouse is a bit much for a house well plus normal household things. Unless I set everything up on a timer and it waters at night, which would still be a lot. So anyway, here I am. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. If I switched to drip, that would work. I don't know how to work drip. I didn't know how to do wobblers either last year, and I figured that out. So it's just kind of one of those things where I don't know what the heck is going on. I don't know what the heck I'm doing. I hope our well's fine. I hope it's okay. And praying everything works out. We can get it figured out in the next 24 hours, or I'm going to be out there with some little sprinklers watering the market garden, which is going to take forever. Okay, so you kind of get a glimpse of how stressful it was. I was stressing out a couple days ago. It was hard, and I thought I should film it because it's real life. Like, not just flower garden farming and market gardening and homesteading can be fun and super rewarding. I'm trying to not to walk on my mustard that reseeded itself in my walkways. I gotta start weeding some of these volunteers or transplanting them. They're getting out of control. Can't get kale to grow to save my life at my market garden, but sure as heck it's doing good in here. So at least it's doing good somewhere. Chickens came in, ate up my sunflower, so I have a gap between here and there. Not ideal. I have some more that I planted. They're coming up slowly but surely. So it seems just like the well, last year we had well problems. To replace the whole 220 from the outbuilding here to the house there. That was not a fun project, but we got it done. And then we've always kind of had some off and on issues with this well pump, and I think it actually kicked the bucket. It stays on for about, it'll run for about 30 seconds, and I thought we were out of water. I was like, oh crap. We've had some other neighbors that had to drop pumps, well pumps further because of the drought we're in. And so I was like, oh no, this is not good. Farmers a couple hours away were told a couple months ago to stop irrigating and abandon all crops. We have not been told that, fortunately. So we needed to come up with some better solutions. And so far, we're on part 1, which is after a couple years of having well issues, we bought a solar well pump. We found this company online that we really liked. They're American, it's a family-run business. And we purchased a solar well pump for our irrigation. We installed it with the help of our farm handyman guy. He came out and helped us get it in. He built like the whole pressure tank system for this, so he really knows what's going on here. And he installed solar. So we now have solar panels on top of our barn, and it's running the thing. So the trade-off for solar right now, we need to get batteries. They're quite expensive. But the people we bought the pump from say traditionally irrigation, they don't have the batteries. You can if you want to water in the evening. Well, we are in a super hot climate, so watering in the evening is quite ideal. Unless we switch from wobbler sprinkler systems to drip. And I think that's where we're gonna go. But the issue is just cost right now. So then we could water midday. So I was afraid of midday watering to burn the plants and the leaves, but that I hear is now actually proven to be a myth, which is encouraging. So now you just have to worry about evaporation. So the sun hits this point on the roof around and is able to have enough power in the pump. I got it going this morning at 8:30, which is pretty good, not bad. But it's going to be later and later as it gets later and later in the year. We just had the summer solstice yesterday, so it's only going to get darker and darker. But it was really rewarding, and Trey is so pumped up. It feels like we're homesteading. We got one well on solar. We're so cool. We're so cool. So before I watered the whole garden, which had big lightning strike right there. I watered the whole big garden, and here it's instead of like early morning, like 6-7 a.m. I have to water 8:30 until like early afternoon, which is okay, but sometimes it can heat up. But it's just going to have to do the big garden first and come here because this garden is pretty shady because of this big tree right here in the corner. It's pretty shady in the afternoon, so I don't really have to worry about the hot sun in this garden too much. It still gets warm in here, but not as much. So that, my friends, is where we're at. So it's been a bit stressful this year. My market crops are really struggling. This garden is extremely weedy. Tomorrow's Tuesday though, so we have our interns and volunteers coming, and we're gonna weed this. So I'm gonna show you what this garden looks like right now on Monday, June 21st, second day of summer. And there's just a little update for you. On the next video, definitely will show you the market garden. It is doing actually really well. The garlic, the potatoes, the sunflowers. And because of our irrigation problems, we've had to come up with some other solutions to hold in some moisture into the ground. So we'll talk about that in the next video, but here's the little garden, and it's about to get planted. And also, I look back on one of my Instagram feed things, and I had lettuce booming in here at this time last year, and it's a little depressing because I don't have lettuce booming in here this year. I have some lettuce in the market garden, but I've ate one big bowl, which has been really nice. But I should have planted lettuce. Kylie, next year, plant lettuce, always. This always has to have food in it. Never again. Okay, so here we go. We'll pretend like we just walked in, okay? All right, so there was your glimpse into this crazy, weedy, wonderful garden, and it's behind. It is behind, but that's okay. We're gonna plant it up tomorrow. We're gonna get this fully planted with vegetables to fill in the... Right there is poppies, and everything, there's besides volunteer sunflowers, everything else is weeds. I did weed this bed, and we have some poppies popping up here and there in between. There's a bunch here and here and there, but everything else is volunteers. I'm gonna be planting a bunch of lettuce and a bunch of kale and get this jamming with all sorts of things. I want to show you something. So my boys, I hope this is true, told me that bluebirds are on the endangered list, but I wanted to show you here in the little garden. Let's see if we can see, hopefully mama bird. Oh my gosh, this is even better than I thought. I was about to show you 5 blue eggs. It's not wanting to focus on him. Mama bird is up there on the arbor. She's not too far away. She is always watching me like a hawk. There were 5 bluebird eggs in here, and now there's little teeny tiny babies with their mouths open. It was blurry. I can't get the camera to focus in on there, but it's really special. Well, I miss you guys, and I will see you on my next video. Bye guys.